Welcome friends, welcome family to Swordplay with J-Man. I'm J-Man, and the Bible is my sword. For the sword of the Spirit is the word of the Lord, Ephesians 6:17, B and C. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about something. I actually didn't have in mind any verse. I just kind of had a thought recently. My thought was about brokenness, and I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what brokenness means. See, brokenness can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. So I kind of just wanted to do a little bit talking about what I feel like it means, and I wanted to know what you guys think about that. So go ahead and leave comments below, questions, talk to me about it. How do you feel about it? What does this make you think? What did this make you feel? Was I right? Was I wrong? Was there something else I missed? Just kind of let me know what you think about this. It's kind of a new format. Like I said, we're making some small changes, and just something different this time. So here's kind of what I'm thinking about brokenness. See, like I said, brokenness can be good or it can be bad. So let's look at a bad thing for brokenness. What the problem with brokenness is that when we're broken, it's hard. It hurts. It sucks. But not only that, the brokenness itself is how we handle it. If we just kind of go into this mentality of, man, I'm broken, and I don't like it, and I don't want to be here, and we just kind of get into a funk about it, that's when it's no good. But if brokenness becomes a good thing, a blessing, we kind of use it to God's advantage. We let God step in and God take over. See, that's where brokenness becomes a good thing. See, here's the thing. We are to be broken like Christ was broken on the cross. Paul says, I was crucified with Christ. Christ said when he handed out his bread that he is broken for us. So that means that we need to be broken like Christ because Christ tells us to take up our cross and follow him. So Christ tells us to break ourselves. That's the point. That's when we get to that lowest of low and we get down there and we're broken, that's when God can use us. And that's when Paul says, I'm strong when I'm weak and down here and broken and cracked. That's when God wants to use me. It's not when things are good, things are great. It's when your times in your life are great and then you're not broken. But it's when money's tight, when you don't know where your next meal is going to come from. That's when you're broken. And if you let God in and use you at that time, that's when God is going to shine. He's going to say he's loving that. He's waiting for that. He's like, yeah, do that. It's hard. I get that. It's very difficult. And that's kind of why brokenness is a good and bad thing, because when you're in that point of brokenness and you're just completely broken and you have to let God in, that's when it's hard. You're like, no, I don't want to do this. But then when you do it and God comes in and makes that thing happen, like, you're low on gas and you're just trying to get home and you got 10 miles to go and that light's been on for the last 5 and you're like, come on, Lord, let it happen, let it happen, let it happen. You're broken. And then it's the next day when you get up and you've got that check and you can put the money in your car so you can make it where you got to go. That you got to remember to pick up that cross again, and you got to find a reason to break. Now maybe it's just letting your heart break for something. Maybe there's a kitten on the street that just needs some food, and your heart breaks for that kitten. That is an aspect of being Christ. Maybe there's a kid down the street who is having a rough time with their parents, or their parents are having a rough time, or something, and you just bring food over and you feed them. Or maybe they don't have any clothes. They've been wearing the same clothes for 3 days. You bring over a nice new pair of clothes. It doesn't have to be new, just newly washed. Maybe it doesn't fit you anymore and it fits them. Let your heart break. Be Christ to the world. Do what he would do. Carry the cross. Because when you're broken like that, it's not about you. See, again, I'm going back to what's good and bad about being broken. And part of what's bad about being broken is when you're broken, it's all about you. Unless you decide to let God in, and then when you let God in, it becomes about the world around you. And then you have to choose again the next day to break, and the next day to break, and the next day to break. And that's hard. That's a challenge. But if you can choose to break and you're successful at breaking and you break and you succeed and you win, oh man, the glory, the blessings of God. Because we are to be that living sacrifice. So we have to be on that cross. We have to die to ourselves every day. Not necessarily that cross, but the cross we're carrying, living sacrifices, so we have to be dying to ourselves every day. That's part of being a living sacrifice. That's part of breaking. So that's kind of what I was thinking about with brokenness. Is I know there's a lot there, and I know I said a lot, and I do kind of feel like I kind of, well, is it good or is it bad? Brokenness as a whole is a great thing, because when you let God in, when you're broken, that is good. But brokenness at the start is hard, because you become self-centered, self-focused, and you just can't see past your brokenness. Until you let God in, God shows you beyond your brokenness, and when you see that part of it, brokenness is great. And then it becomes hard because you have to do it again and again and again. That's part of who God is. He allows us the chance to do it again and again and again. And because we're humans, we're going to fail. And when we fail, that's okay. It's not the end of the world if you fail to break every day of the week. It's not the end of the world if brokenness only happens on Monday and Tuesday, but it doesn't happen on Wednesday. Because you know what? On Thursday, when you get back up, you break again. And on Friday, when you get back up, you break again. And you just keep trying every day to take up your cross, to live as Christ. Christ died for us. If we were to be Christ, we have to live a life that's focused on other people, which means to live broken. And that's okay. It's okay to go to church broken. It's okay to be broken. Because when we're broken, we find out, one, what blessings we still have, like the gas that got us home. Two, we see other people's hurts, and we want to accommodate them. We want to do things for them. And with that knowledge of what hurts us, what hurts other people, and how we can break, then maybe by Saturday we break again. We don't even realize we've broken. And Sunday. And it finally we get to Monday, and we're not thinking about breaking because we're just doing it. That's the part of breaking. That's good. That's how Christ wants us to be. That's how he lived his life. He lived his life to break for us. Thank you all for coming and checking out Swordplay with Jay, man. I know it was a little different this time. I hope that was good. Again, please subscribe, like. If you have any questions, comments, prayer requests. Like I said, if there was anything that I left out or that you didn't agree with, or maybe if you did agree with, whatever you thought about what I said, if anything came to your mind as I was talking, go ahead and post it down below in the comment section. That's what it's there for. I'd really like to have some comments from you guys. Kind of like to know where we're going with this, if I'm really speaking to you or not, and if I am, let me know. It'd be cool if you could let me know if there's any Bible verses that you'd like to know about, because I'd be willing to share those with you too, look into them, and just kind of have fun. That's what I want this channel to be about. I want you guys to be able to have fun. Thank you, and God bless.